Hi everyone, this is Annalisa. Welcome back. So today I wanted to share with you this bloom. I made it several months ago, but I shared it a few days ago on a group when somebody had asked what you do with smaller canvases. And I told them that I enjoy making blooms with mine. And I was asked several questions, and so I thought it might be helpful if I shared my video on how I made it. So, first thing to note is you want to be extremely careful about how much pillow paint you actually put on your canvas. You want to make sure it's covered, but you don't have a lot of movement. A little bit of movement is good, but too much is something you really need to watch for because you're going to be adding additional paint on top of your pillow, so you will have some movement from there. This is a 6x6 cradled wood canvas, so it is a very, very small piece. So I am a ColourArte affiliate. If you use my coupon code ACOX422, you can save 20% off at ColourArte.com. So it's important to note that when I was layering my colors, the order in which you layer your colors on a black pillow really makes a huge difference. I started with my lightest color on the bottom because it really made my other colors pop. So I put a whitish color on the bottom, and then I put some interference before I put in my other colors. So I used my mini blower to make very clear petals. I really wanted to make sure that it was very clear that this was a small flower. And so using that blower kind of helps with giving you areas where it's really clear where the petals are, and it makes it a lot of fun to be able to go in with your embossing tool and kind of define each of the petals and where they should sit. And I always draw them into a point in the middle, and then at the very end of that, I will go in and add my points to the ends of each of my petals. And then I like to make sure that I also do some swirling in the center just to make it so it's not super defined ending point in the middle where I've made my my lines for my petals. If you don't do the little bit of swirl in the middle, it just kind of looks a little strange in my opinion. But there are other ways to do this. I just find this was the way that works best for me. So next, I wanted to make sure that my paint was not going to fold over on itself. So when you're working on a canvas where you have a small amount of pillow paint, you are not going to have your paint moving as much. And so you're going to want to add some additional paint at the edges because it will help move it out just a little bit and keep it from rolling over on itself, and then you lose your petals. After I did a few good spins, I realized that I had lost a few of my points, and so I went in and I just worked on trying to better define each of the points and kind of making it clear where each of my petals were, just really making this feel as much like a flower as I could. I felt like by this point it definitely had that flower quality, and so it also had these clear petals, but I get a little obsessive about them, and I want to make sure that it's super clear where it is that each of the petals are. So I went and just made sure to outline them. After I felt like I was good with defining them, I kind of went back in and realized that I had again kind of created some points in the middle, and I wasn't super happy with it. It felt like it was missing something. So I decided to throw a pop of color in there. And what's a flower without a pretty yellow center? And so it really doesn't take a lot of color. And when you're using your embossing tool, this is the perfect way to add that pop of color in the center, because you're able to work with a super fine tip and you don't have to worry as much about getting too much. I know if you use like a end of a paintbrush, it works, but a lot of times the tip is just a little too thick. And so embossing tools are super awesome for that. I will have links in the description below for both the mini blower that I used and the embossing tools that I used in this video, and if you wanted to know where I got those. So I want to point out I did lift my canvas and I made sure that none of my paint was moving before I felt I was done. Anyway, that's my bloom. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already, please consider subscribing. Thank you. Have a great day.